On your left, Doc.
Dave, Andrew was just sharing with us just kind of what went into the decision with Evan Phillips not being on the roster and how he's doing. But just considering being without him, obviously he's been excellent this postseason run. But having now Alex Vesia, Bruce Grotterell, what do they add to the bullpen?
Yeah, losing Evan, not having Evan available for this series, certainly is disappointing. So we just got to make sure we protect him, short term, long term. But being able to add Bruce Dar and Alex to this roster is a huge addition. I think that they match up well with this ball club, and they've got experience. So I think that obviously losing Evan was a blow, but getting two nice additions is big.
Go to Barry.
Hey, Doc. It's like 40-year anniversary of Fernando pitching a complete game, 147 pitch game 3 of the World Series. You guys now, obviously struggle to get a guy through 4 or 5 innings. On reflection, what has changed in baseball from that era to this era? Why is it so dramatic?
That's a longer conversation, but I will say this, is I think that the game, you can see by the slug in the game. I think that there's a lot more slug. It's more high scoring, whereas in those days, a lot of balls in play, not as many strikeouts, quicker games, pitchers obviously going deeper in the game. So, yeah, those days of the 147 pitch exercise are not going to be coming back. So I don't know, Barry. I think right now it's just trying to figure out how to get 27 outs and score as many more than the other team, and there's just different ways to do it. But like I said, I would love to have that 9-inning complete game shutout too.
What do you say about Fernando and what he meant to this organization?
I think if there's 2 people that probably impacted this organization most, I think you would say Jackie Robinson and Fernando Valenzuela. And no disrespect to anyone else, but I think that, if you're talking about currently the fan base, there's a lot of people that are here and support the Dodgers and south of the border because of Fernando. And so that was obviously when I was younger, really young, but his legacy continues to live on. And so he was a friend of mine, and so to not see him up in the booth or to say hello is sad for me and his family. But Fernando was a gentle man, a great Dodger, and just what a humble man.
Go up front on your right, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Crystal Rich, KTLA. Flaherty today. From his experiences this postseason, from pitching 7 scoreless to the NLCS Game 5, where he said his biggest lesson was wanting to make adjustments earlier, how do you hope all those experiences culminate to allow him to have the best outing today?
I think experience. I think that his pitch mix, his ability to command the baseball. He has weapons to get lefties out, righties out, pitching to all quadrants. I do think the lesson of being able to read and react in game is huge, where I think that's where the experience piece kind of is beneficial, because you don't know what's going to be working that particular night. You don't know what those guys are hunting that particular night. So to be able to sometimes go off script is important in games like this.
And then Freddie back in the lineup at third, Teoscar batting cleanup. What do you hope to see from those guys today?
I expect to see good at-bats. I expect us to grind Garrett and make him earn every out. Freddie's in a good spot physically. Garrett's a neutral guy. There's velocity, there's experience. He's a number 1. We have guys that have a lot of experience against them, so I think that I want to see good quality at bats and grind them.
We'll stay there, and then Bill Plunkett, right next to you. Sorry, right to your right.
Hey, Dave, you talk about just the resilience of your bullpen and what we've seen in the last couple of series. What specifically have you seen that's really enhanced as far as their preparation, as far as their confidence going into now the World Series?
I don't think the preparation has changed. I think that they've been very consistent with that. I think certainly the confidence has grown with each one of those guys. I think the openness to pitch whenever I ask them is big. I do think that they understand how valuable they are to preventing runs in the postseason, and they've come through. So I think a lot of it is the confidence that they've gained throughout the season and throughout the postseason.
And I've noticed also too throughout the postseason, you guys used a couple of Kobe Bryant quotes as far as like philosophies and things of that nature. To you, if Kobe was still around today, what do you think he would say about this Dodger team right now heading into the World Series?
I think, obviously to pull from what Kobe, what he did, what he said, I think it rings true to a lot of people. And so for us to use some of his quotes, I believe in him. What he would say, there's work to be done. I think that the thing about him is that, not only being uber talented, but he was a killer, and the job's not done. So I think that that's something that, and I understand that. I know our guys understand that too.
Far back on your right, Bill Plunkett, and then Tyler.
Yeah, what role do you anticipate for Miguel Rojas now?
So I see him playing short tomorrow, and so I see him starting against Rodon. And then I see him coming into, whether it be a pinch hit in Gavin's spot, which I could use him or somebody else. I see him coming in to potentially play defense at short. So he's in a good spot, and we're going to need him.
Does Kike stay in the everyday lineup?
Yes.
And can you quantify how much good a week off has done Freddie?
I can't. But I do know that he's kind of in the same position as he was when he started the DS with the time before that series. So I'm just hoping, we're all just sort of hoping that we've got out of the woods and we can kind of maintain where he's at now. Because what happened as the series progressed, prolonged, then it went south. So I'm going to try to pick spots to whether it be get him off the field, at times if I can, but right now he's in a good spot, so we're just hoping that we can kind of sustain it.
Just do a couple more. Tyler on your right.
Yeah, Dave, sort of building off that, what do you see from Freddie behind the scenes and what he's having to go through to be out there at all, and how close is he to the Freddie Freeman healthy guy that we know?
I think he is. He has a very good way, like most great ones have a great way of compartmentalizing. Once they're playing, they're playing. There's no excuse. So when he's in the batter's box, Garrett's going to know, those pitchers are going to know that's still Freddie Freeman in the batter's box. And I trust him taking in at bat. I think for me, he's in there until he's not. And he's very excited about our guys picking him up when he wasn't in the lineup, to give him time to kind of recover. But I certainly know that he wanted to be a part of things. And when he's not, it hurts him. But he's doing a good job of keeping on a pretty good face.
Right up front, Ron.
How do the bullpen additions impact the overall usage of everyone else in the bullpen and the various lanes that you envision going into the games?
I think it just adds a little bit of variance. We don't have to lean on the same guys. Now we have two lefties in the pen versus the one. Brewstar has a different repertoire than, let's say, Brazier. And so I think that just being able to give these guys different looks is important.
And is going into 2 days in a row a big change in how you try to map out usage rather than the 3 days in a row?
Yeah, it is in the sense because coming into the 2 days, we've had 4 days off. After going into the 3 days, it's going to be a 2 out of 3. So that I can't tell you how it looks, but I can tell you that I'm going to manage to win tonight. And then whatever happens tonight, that's the same game plan.
All right, Doc. Thanks so much.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
thanks, guys.